In the twisted landscape of Port Charles, alliances fray and secrets unravel as power, love, and vengeance clash beneath the surface of civility. On this explosive Thursday, the players in General Hospital face defining choices, some pushed to the brink of violence, others to the edge of betrayal, and a few into a spiral of passion and danger. Drew, Emma, Anna, Sunny, Christina, and others find themselves pulled into a web so intricate that every action triggers unexpected chaos. Drew, long accustomed to survival in both corporate corridors and violent underworlds, takes a bold step that risks igniting a war he may not survive. His association with Sidwell has always been precarious, held together by shared threats and mutual manipulation, but today, Drew tests the limits. With simmering disdain, Drew confronts Sidwell in private, not to surrender, but to deliver a warning. If their arrangement continues to endanger those he cares about, he will no longer play along. Sidwell, a man whose name whispers danger across Port Charles, reacts with calculated fury. He brandishes a gun, pressing it against Drew's temple with ice-cold certainty, hissing a reminder that betrayal has a price. But Drew doesn't flinch. Beneath the steely glare lies his growing realization: he may have pushed too far. He may also have nothing left to lose. Meanwhile, in a more academic but no less treacherous arena, Emma finds herself swept up in a plot that puts her intellect and heart on the line. Her distrust of Professor Hank Dalton is no longer an idle suspicion. What began as vague academic curiosity now sharpens into a dangerous resolve to expose what she believes is a hidden agenda lurking beneath his prestigious lectures. Unbeknownst to most, Emma has begun coordinating with Gio, whose rebellious streak hides a fierce devotion to truth and justice. Together, they orchestrate a secret infiltration into the professor's lab, what they believe to be the epicenter of his secrets. But Emma is not entirely unnoticed. Anna, ever the seasoned operative, has been quietly tracking Emma's unusual behavior. Alarmed at what she pieces together, Anna turns to Felicia. It is not simply about stopping Emma, it's about preventing another Devane from falling victim to the same shadows that once consumed her own life. Anna begins making calls, leaning on forgotten favors and old connections to monitor the situation in Dalmatia without alerting those who might interfere. Though she hopes to dissuade Emma, Anna knows better than anyone that some passions can only be cooled by consequence, not caution. Trina, meanwhile, tries to serve as Emma's moral compass. Her warning is gentle, but firm: the RA job under Dalton may come with more strings than Emma realizes. Jocelyn has already raised alarms about Dalton's involvement in suspicious activities, and Trina, though not prone to overreaction, trusts Joss's instincts. Emma listens but remains quietly defiant. When the subject of Gio arises, her defenses falter. Her voice softens. Joe's willingness to support the lab break-in, to stand by her even at great risk to himself, only deepens her feelings. What began as admiration is evolving into something more dangerous. A devotion that could cloud her judgment when she needs clarity the most. Elsewhere, Jordan sits across from Laura, who hesitates before addressing the elephant in the room, Sidwell. The mayor suspects a showdown is brewing between Sidwell and Sunny, and though she'd prefer to keep the city clear of collateral damage, she knows silence is no longer an option. Jordan, always ready to wade into morally murky waters, volunteers to take the lead. She proposes infiltration, intelligence gathering, perhaps even setting up Sidwell for exposure. Laura's eyes betray her fear. She knows the cost of underestimating men like Sidwell. But Jordan assures her, if the city is to survive the storm that's coming, someone must be willing to dance with the devil. On a more domestic but equally tense front, Christina confronts her own misgivings as Alexis broaches a delicate subject: whether she regrets interfering in Molly's potential romance with Cody. Christina insists her intentions were pure, that she was only trying to protect Molly. Yet, beneath the surface, regret blooms like an unwanted bruise. She wonders if perhaps, in her effort to play the savior, she became the saboteur. The guilt is not loud, but it's persistent, gnawing away at her certainty and forcing her to examine what exactly she's been trying to protect Molly from, and whether that protection was ever hers to offer. Over at Deception, Brooke Lynn offers Sunny a rare gift. Good news. After intense behind-the-scenes negotiations, the firm decides to distance itself from any further money laundering allegations. The damage was nearly catastrophic, but a decision has been made to bury the scandal. For Sunny, the reprieve is bittersweet. It's a moment of relief amid the storm, but it does nothing to ease the pressure from Sidwell's encroachments or the unraveling tensions in his personal life. And as Sunny processes the news, Ava prepares for her own confrontation. This time with Rick. The game she plays is dangerous, but Ava is no stranger to risk. She has seen Rick falter before, especially when Elizabeth is involved, and today, she puts his loyalty to the test. Will he choose the woman who challenges him or the past that still anchors him? Rick, always conflicted, teeters on the edge. Ava senses weakness, and perhaps for the first time in a long while, she wonders if she made the right call turning to Alexis and demanding Rick be cut loose. Loyalty, after all, is not a switch, it is a currency, one Ava is prepared to trade for survival. As night descends, the streets of Port Charles pulse with unspoken threats. Emma and Gio inch closer to exposing something that could shake the academic world and beyond, while Anna fights to keep her daughter from making a decision she can't undo. Drew faces the wrath of a man who believes in blood over business, and Sunny begins to grasp just how many fronts his war has taken. Jordan prepares to play a dangerous game with Sidwell, and Christina struggles to forgive herself for what might have been misplaced protection. Ava's calculated moves could backfire if Rick finally severs ties with her. And in the background, secrets fester. The coming days promise escalation. As hidden truths near the surface and characters make irreversible decisions, Port Charles teeters on the edge of a reckoning. Loyalties will shift, power will be challenged, and some relationships, romantic, political, and familial, will not survive the fire. But in the world of General Hospital, survival isn't just about who pulls the trigger. It's about who's willing to live with the fallout. And this time, the fallout could leave no one untouched.